time to go viral. I'm homicidal, I'm killing all my rivals. I'm the man, shit, I put that on the Bible. Spotify my target, cause you know I got the title. Hey, I'm a Mac too. I told baby shake that ass like she Apple. She said it's real, so she got my name tattooed. House full, so I hit it in the back room. Baby said she needed now, peep the urgency. I want a little Kim before she had the surgery. Leg spread on that hardcore poster. She love twerking, she just do it for the coach. Big dog, bull massive. 6 tray Chevrolet, I'm classic. All these niggas mad at me, that's tragic. The main bitch in the bed, that's graphic. Yeah, we about to go viral. Hey, we about to go.
Hey, what's the deal, people? It's your boy, the one and only, your host that do the most, Mr. Viral himself, aka the villain, because they hate me for my opinion. Welcome back to the first episode of the year, the Viral Way Podcast. If you're a new subscriber, hit that subscribe button. As always, I got the co-host in the building. We got Messiah the Great here to lead the way. We got Cali the one, not the two in the building, Mr. Lightskin himself. And we got Uncle Ruckus, the delusional one.
You're delusional. You didn't do the fucking thing.
I already did that.
Oh, okay.
See, you got to keep up. Happy New Year to everybody out there. You feel me? Happy New Year, fellas. And let me point out, this is not the official New Year's. It's the New Year's they gave us, but we'll go down that rabbit hole later. But the real New Year is actually in spring.
You're going to stop disrespecting the white man.
The real New Year is actually in spring. But what y'all do for y'all New Year's, man?
I was in the house.
You was in the house?
Yeah.
I worked on New Year's. I didn't do shit.
Damn, everybody was in the house?
Yeah, it was regular. I was cool.
Yeah, this was like, it's too much. Shit is too unpredictable right now. Man, I'm telling you, everybody had the hive mind feeling like shit ain't right now. Some bullshit gonna happen. And the wise people stayed in the house.
Hey, you know what's
dumb
crazy?
People went outside like shit was all good. And now you see what's happening. No disrespect.
Hey,
even on top of that, cause I wasn't drinking, I wasn't smoking, I was sober as a bitch. I wasn't trying to really turn up, so it was like, nigga, what is there really to do? It's another day. Not saying that's all a nigga need, but that's what you're going to go be around when you go outside on New Year's Eve. You're going to go turn up, and I didn't feel like turning up, so I was chilling.
This is the first New Year in about almost a decade I stayed in the house. Like I really went back down my social media timeline. I was somewhere different every year. I'm usually out of state, out the country, but this year something just felt different. It felt off. I seen somebody tweet like, I like how we all collectively decided to stay in the house this year.
Yeah.
And it was weird because everybody was in the house.
Man, it's like,
everybody was in the house.
It's like there was like a feeling like just chill. Like, honestly, if you black, nigga, you don't really got shit to be celebrating no way. We had a bad year. Last year was bad for us. Like, I'm keeping it a buck with you,
celebrate
nigga.
life for this year,
Beyonce didn't even win album of the year last year.
Here you go. Yeah.
But what was you celebrating?
Life, being alive.
Losing the Trump.
Yeah, this nigga crazy.
Being alive is enough to celebrate.
Man, listen, being alive, I'd rather stay alive than just celebrate being alive. Look, man.
And there's a lot of things that went on this year, man. Last year, from the top of the Cat Williams shit, to everything getting exposed, to motherfucking people hating on Dion for him succeeding and prevailing with Colorado over there. There's a lot of stuff that been going on, cuz. So
I mean, you can't be saying like everybody in the country want to kill you because you black and they hate you, but then feel like you can go out in public and get so faded that you can't even see straight. Like, if we really at war, nigga, behave like that. What soldiers you see like, I'm behind enemy lines, I'm gonna go get freaking incoherently drunk on a day where if somebody wanted to do something and get recognition, they would do it.
Don't say like them soldiers don't be out there doped up and getting high.
No, for sure. They
just want to, they hate themselves at that point.
Let me point out for all the religious people, in the Bible, the new year begins in spring, specifically in the month of Abib or Nisan or whatever. It goes with the astrology. So the new year starts when the cycle of life begins with new growth and blossoms. So if you know anything about spring, it's when all the plants come back to life. Everything that you planted in the fall is now blossoming in spring. But they finessed the calendar. It's actually really supposed to be like 13 months in the calendar or something like that. Like Saturday and Sunday would fall on the same day every day of the year. If we had that extra 13th month, you can go down that rabbit hole as to why they eliminated that month. But spring is New Year is not in December. Everything is dead. Everything is cold. Everything is hibernating. The bears are hibernating. Animals hibernating. So it's actually not a new year. They really finessed us. And I really am going to deep dive as to why. We could come back to that conversation because there's more important things going on. First, before we get to that, did anybody hear Uncle Murda's wrap up?
I heard it.
No, none of y'all heard Uncle Murda rap?
We know you heard it every year.
That's crazy because
That's a tradition for you at this point.
it's a tradition for everybody if you're a part of
Clearly,
hip-hop.
if we never heard of it, it ain't for everybody.
I mean, you're not really into hip-hop like that.
So now you got to.
I know, I'm just keeping it
Nah,
100.
the boy-
We know because the only real hip hop fans gonna listen to Uncle Murda. A lot of
Right.
people probably bleed us to even talk about Uncle Murda. But if you know about the wrap ups, but I want to shout out to Skills too because we was talking about that. He was the original wrap up man, but Uncle Murda, he low key disappointed me. He was just talking like he just stopped giving a fuck about it. So I gotta listen to it again, man.
Mad Skills is who he's referring to. So Mad Skills actually started the wrap-ups, I believe, around 2001. 2002. Uncle Murda comes in.
Maybe 05,
Like
6 or something.
yeah, probably like
later than
06
that,
or something like that. He hijacked it from Skills and became the wrap-up man. So every year, everybody in the culture looks forward to Uncle Murda's wrap-up. Most notably, Mariah Carey tweeted, like, I can't wait for Uncle Murda, blase blah. So that's really when he took off and boom, when Mariah Carey co-signed the wrap-up. But he's been talking about retiring from doing the wrap-ups for the last couple years. And this wrap-up sounded like he's pretty much over it. He sounded lazy. It sounded like he went and recorded it that night. The flow was off. Whoever mixed it, the mix was off. His flow didn't go with the beat. And it was lackluster.
That's how you always say.
It wasn't
No,
as
don't,
funny. He usually got some funny shit to
He
say.
usually got
He usually
funny
cooking.
shit. He usually
Nah,
got
yeah.
beat switching up. He usually got a lot of different
He
things.
probably getting old. He been doing this shit for
Nah,
like
it was
10
just so much.
years.
Probably just too much to fucking talk about.
This was his one. This was his one moment to shine because anything. Nobody listens to Uncle Murda throughout the year unless you're a real Murda fan. You feel me? Most people come December, now they looking for his music. But from January to November, nobody's really talking about Uncle Murda. Just realistically,
His shit doing numbers on YouTube though already.
I sent y'all in the chat the Lord Vision, New Blessings. That's a good New Year's song. Like it's only 1 minute, but it gets straight to the point. It's so good. Y'all got it in the chat. Listen to it.
Murda. You're gonna have to go back in the booth and make up for this one. This one wasn't it. I'm an Uncle Murda supporter. I've been an Uncle Murda supporter since back in 05 when he was just on YouTube taking shots at 50, trying to get in the game. So shout out to Uncle Murda. But you got to go back in the booth, bro.
Do you even know how black people operate? You can't get motivated by it. You got to be like, nigga, you suck. You need to retire. You're washed up. You're trash now. The shit you released was garbage. Now he's going to be motivated to go in there and do something. He's going to come back and try to murk me.
This
now.
was like one of those rare years where it was so much to talk about. He probably could have made this a mixtape series, part 1, 2, and 3. Like, just do a different beat on a different song because it was too much that happened with the whole Cat Williams predicting the year. Bro, you had unlimited things to talk about. That just wasn't it.
How is he going to follow Kendrick, bro? I think Kendrick iced everybody right now. Like you just play. Look, I was listening to TV off.
But this is the point of there is no having to follow Kendrick. Rappers didn't always have to follow another rapper. If a nigga drop some hot shit, you can still drop some hot shit because that's who you was as a rapper. Like that's why I always say when people want to sound the same, it's like now you're trying to follow up to They Not Like Us or TV Off or any of these songs that Kendrick did. That's Kendrick Lane.
Well, now with the whole Kendrick Drake beef, it's going to be a whole new level and has been a whole new level of stan culture since then. So I think that's where you're getting a lot of these people like, oh, you got to sound like Kendrick or you got to, I'm not saying you, but you got to sound like Kendrick or you have to, follow Kendrick up and be better than him and you're in competition with him. Because of this new stan culture where they look at everything like a beef, they talk about numbers over product and things of that nature. So that's where we are right now.
There's no beef between Drake and Kendrick no more. Come on.
Yeah, that's over with. Kendrick won unanimously.
Drake won that beef hands down.
Okay.
Oh, I'm not.
Rage bait.
Yeah.
Rage
No,
bait.
$600 million deal with the NFL.
We'll get to that later.
Hey, when it's dead, let it go. Put it in the casket.
Hey, before we start this, it's 2025. I want everybody out there enter this year with new goals, new aspirations, challenge yourself, get in the gym. You should have spent the last day of the year in the gym, and you should start the year off in the gym. So after this show, I'll be headed to the gym, but I just want to throw that out there. Health, wealth, get your mind right, read more books, and black people. please, I'm saying this right now. Free yourselves from the shackles of useless relationship debates on podcasts. That's over with, bro. Like, we got to leave that in 2024. If the bitch don't want to go 50-50 and all you can do is 50-50, leave the bitch where she at. If dude can't pay all your bills and this and that, leave him where he at. However it is, get who you can get and get the fuck out the way. But all this jumping on, talking about, oh, he got to pay this and I'm not cleaning that and wifey, that shit is over with. Get who you can get and get out of the way. If you can't get the person that you want and desire, you need to look in the mirror and reevaluate yourself because you're not as hot shit as you think you are. So free yourselves because we are the laughing stocks of the world because of this shit. Let it go. LIG it. Let it go.
They finna kill you for that.
Can I say something?
Yep.
Can I say something? I'm the opposite of him. I want you to continue to be a piece of shit. Don't go in the gym. Be lazy. Eat. Get diabetes. Get high blood pressure. Because the more of you who do that, when I do the little shit I'm doing, it makes it look more special on the internet. And y'all can follow me and watch me do all the shit that y'all want to do.
Viral Way or no way, he does not represent the beliefs and ideologies of Viral Way, right? But let's get real. First couple hours, the world is already in turmoil. If you're not up on what's going on, if you've been under a rock, if you just woke up and you're still hungover, let me enlighten you what's going on. There was a terrorist attack that took place in New Orleans, down on Bourbon Street, late last night or early this morning, however you want to look at it. So apparently, a guy, he's been identified. I forget his name. We'll get to it later. But long story short, there was a truck that was rented that crossed the border a couple days ago. The guy used this truck to plow into people outside on Bourbon Street. Not only did he plow through the crowd, literally the videos are everywhere. When people approached the vehicle to see, damn, maybe this is a drunk driver. Is he all right? Dude opened fire. Wind up, man down and 2 cops and about 12 people total. The count of injured people was up to like 35. Like I stated, these videos are all over Twitter. They're all over Instagram, so you can go see the carnage that this guy left. And come to find out, he's supposedly an immigrant. So me putting my thinking cap on and not just reacting emotionally, I'm like, man, I need to go down these rabbit holes because this don't make sense, but then it does. Now, if you're not up on what's been going on, I believe the Statue of Liberty and one other major monument got hit by lightning moments before this happened. And if you look at the pickup truck, it was I believe a Dodge Lightning.
Ford F-150 Lightning, yeah.
Ford F-150 Lightning. So what is the odds that these major monuments get struck by lightning moments later, F-150 Lightning plows through the crowd? So I don't believe in coincidences. So I don't know how that's connected yet, but I believe that's connected. I believe all this was a sign. I believe all this was, call me a conspiracy theorist, this was concocted. Somebody put this together. First, they said he acted alone, and now news is coming out that he had help because I guess down on Bourbon, if you've ever been down there, they usually have some barricades up on certain streets so the cars can't get through. And someone said, don't put the barricades up. But what y'all think about this? Y'all coincidence, terrorist attack, plan? What y'all think about this? It's a lot of details.
It could be a terrorist attack, or it could be something, like you said, it could be concocted because of, they said he had an ISIS flag. I don't know if y'all saw that on the back of his truck when he plowed through the crowd. His name is Shasmuddin Jabbar. I guess he was an Army Reserve from 2015 to 2020. I'm looking at it kind of like with the whole H-1B visa thing going on and how people are saying, we don't want an influx of those people coming in and doing certain things. That type of person doing this could possibly aid to say, hey, this is why we don't want this, or we shouldn't, have more H-1 visas, or we should cut it off completely because of this kind of thing.
But he was a U.S. citizen, though. He wasn't an immigrant.
Okay, yeah. I did not know that. He's in the U.S. Army, so how would he not be an immigrant? Yeah.
Immigrants could join the Army to get citizenship, but he was a U.S. citizen. What I'm thinking is this guy made it look like a terrorist attack he wanted it to look like that. But one of the things that stuck out to me was they were saying that he had been recently divorced for the second time, and he was struggling financially. So I really think that this was one of these dudes who just really got fed up and was like, fuck it, I'm going to just do something crazy. And a lot of people, you know, they want to go out with a bang. They wanted to get as much media attention as possible. And I think he knew that if he had that ISIS flag in his car, that would force people to pay attention.
So you think it was just a random act?
But it's not random in the sense people don't understand there are many men in this world who are suffering in silence. We know the divorce system in the culture in the United States, it doesn't serve men. It criminalizes men for trying to have families. And a lot of people are fed up with that shit. It's kind of like the Christopher Dorner situation. Sometimes you just want to go out in a blaze of glory and you want to force them to talk about it.
But my bad, go ahead.
No, you got it. Go ahead.
Christopher Dorner, the only difference for him, he had specific targets he was going after. Cub wasn't just going after random people. Whoever he had the problem with is who he targeted. So it's like, to think this man to do all this over a damn divorce is crazy to me. Even on another sense, it's like, what makes these people go out and just tick one day to the point where it's like, why not either go after the government or whoever you saying, or the wife or whoever that's making you feel like I'm suffering in silence, where you use to choose and lash out at, instead of just going to New Orleans and all this other stuff is coming together. It don't make no sense to me. I still be telling her the same thing. I be feeling like the government be putting batteries in people's backs and got these niggas operating this way. Regardless of we know it now, it could be 10, 15, 20 years down the line where we done found out half these terrorists and school shootings and stuff that been chips or programmed these people to go do something crazy.
Do you think that my bad, do you think what I was saying earlier about how it could contribute to the H-1B visa situation? You were saying he's a U.S. citizen. You don't think that it could still contribute to the negative imagery, though, of people from other places just because he is what he is?
Well, first of all, let's specify what he is. He is, he had the ISIS flag. So what is he, like a Iraqi or?
Nah, he looks black.
No, that's what I said. He looked black, but he had the ISIS flag, and they were trying to say he was Middle Eastern of some type of, I forget exactly where, I'm going to look it up. But they pretty much trying to bring back like, oh, ISIS is attacking the U.S. I find the timing uncoincidental or coincidental because Trump is on his way in office. Yeah. So now all of a sudden we have these terrorist attacks, because this wasn't the only attack, but we'll get to the next one later. That right when he's about to walk into office, all this chaos ensues because nobody's really looking at the Democrats for being responsible for this right now besides MAGA. Most people are probably gonna blame Trump in some type of way. And I don't think this guy just randomly, I'm finna get divorced, I'm going to Bourbon to mow people down. No, I don't believe in coincidences. What are the odds that the Capitol building and the Empire State Building are both struck by lightning, and the guy strikes 35 people with a Ford F-150 Lightning? Like, the picture of the truck, literally, they made sure to get the word lightning in the photo. It's like hidden in plain sight. They put these clues in your face to pretty much let you know, hey, this was us. So somebody is sending a message with this to me. Bro could have been a sleeper cell, MK Ultra, whatever, because they trying to make it look like it was some ISIS suicide bomber. He had a full metal jacket played on, because the police, if you watch the video, put it in slow-mo, 2 cops approached the car, and then you just hear a gun going off. It sounded like he had a damn switch. He had a makeshift explosive device in the car. That too.
But if I'm not saying he's not like a plant, right? I'm not saying that. But it's the same thing when you look at the school shootings. Somebody just get up one day, they bullying me, and then they go and they fuck this, and they go to school and they mow people down. I think if the government is putting a battery in people's back, these are the type of people they're targeting. Mm-hmm. People who are going through rough times in their life.
They're on their last straw.
Highly susceptible to being influenced through the internet. And they go after these people because listen, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I 100% believe that there is something going on where they sending a signal or something, communicating a message to this person to let them know it's go time. It's time for you to do what you've been planning to do, because it's just too coincidental. Like, But wait, Kali has some new information. He had you look like a light bulb went off.
No, because I couldn't find what his race was, but
he looked black as hell.
So yeah, I don't know if he was like from over here, or obviously he's from here, but his parents maybe they're from somewhere else. I have no idea. I'm more so looking at the name as to why people will tie it to just certain things.
Jabbar,
because a lot of people
aren't
going to
the Middle East, bro.
Yeah, a lot of people aren't going to even do the research to say, oh, is he this or is he that? They're going to see that Shamsuddin Jabbar and think,
right?
I feel like think that, and then tie it to people from the Middle East, which again would further that.
And maybe that's the way they want it.
Hold on, this was another wild coincidence. Kali actually put this in the group. So reportedly, a man matching the name and description of the terrorist suspect accused of plowing through a crowd in New Orleans shared a video introducing himself 4 years ago on YouTube. 42-year-old Shamsuddin Jabbar is accused of carrying out the attack. In a video uploaded to YouTube, Shamsun introduced himself as a property manager. So they got him quoting blah, blah, I'm Shamsun, team lead for the Midas Group and property manager at Blue Meadow Properties. Local news reporting says ISIS flag was found in the truck. So what are the odds this guy is randomly on YouTube 4 years ago, and he's the head of a property management company, blah, blah, a truck that crossed the border a couple days ago, and we're having a border crisis where half the country saying close the border, half the country saying open the border. So they're trying to make it seem like he crossed the border over in Texas and drove it to New Orleans to carry out this attack for ISIS. So I don't believe in coincidences. So as the story unfolds, we'll keep unmatching the dots. But Messiah, what you think, man? You think this is a coincidence? Like, what you think about this whole attack? Like, did you see the video?
I seen it. I don't necessarily believe in coincidences either. The thoughts that I'm trying to channel, I can't really think of right now because it's like, it's so deep. You can go so deep down a rabbit holes because it's like, all right, the government, we be giving all this money to all these different places, to all these different things. And I feel like they can paint certain narratives of how they want us to perceive things. But what they do is these things already be plotted and planned out to where we're just getting equipped and used to it. But their plan already been and running in motion. Like we're catching maybe not even the middle of it, or This ain't the beginning of their plan. However, they've been orchestrating something. It's been going on. They laying it out to where now people can. By the time if you catch it, you catch it. If you catch the clues, majority of the world might be too late before they plan actually lay all the way out. And I just think they're painting a certain picture when it comes to using, or if he is, like you said, an ISIS dude or whatever. We ain't heard. When the last time we really heard about ISIS? ISIS was big when Trump was in before. You was hearing about that a lot. Now you use a dude with an ISIS flag. He's somewhat on the naked eye. He looks black. He's Middle Eastern. We don't know what he is. And then it's to a point where they could paint a picture of us, giving us a enemy that they feel like we need to be aware of. Mm-hmm. So if anything else that starts to come that way, we're going to automatically be on edge when we do start to see these type of individuals come around. It's like they're already. It's like sometimes you can create a problem, come and save the problem to look like a hero that you done already orchestrated and made yourself. And I think that's what a lot of been going on in America.
Great points.
It's like, if to me, I know it's orchestrated because it's too much. It's like they're muddying the waters, right? Mm-hmm. You don't know exactly what why he did it, the motive, because if you find motive, that gives you some insight as to how you could stop it, right? You don't know what his motive was. He has the ISIS flag, but he's a U.S. citizen. He's also going through things with his wife. He's going through a hard time. It's kind of like when the little kids shoot up the school and then they say, well, we're not going to release the manifesto. Mm-hmm. Like, they don't really want you to know why the person did it. Mm-hmm. They just want you to know there is a possibility that this could happen anywhere in the United States. And basically, I believe it's a plot to get you to relinquish your freedoms and your rights.
No, that's a fact.
The government's going to protect, just like we did in 2001 with the Patriot Act.
That's
we just got so scared. We don't know where the enemy is coming from. Government, please violate us and invade our privacy. So in the name of protecting us. And I just want to send a strong message. It's not fucking happening again. You can kill as many people as you want to. I don't think American people are stupid enough to give this government power over their day-to-day.
And even all places, y'all say they happen in New Orleans, right? Mm-hmm. So why New Orleans? Why makes this man choose New Orleans? Was he living out there? Was he from New Orleans?
Nope.
He might have some type of tie to it though. Eventually, when it comes out,
really think about it. there's a lot of publicity surrounding New Orleans because when you think of terrorist attacks, you think of D.C., you thinking of L.A., you thinking of somewhere major. No one really is thinking about New Orleans.
Yeah, whatever.
But
New York.
the Super Bowl is in New Orleans this year, so it's getting the most media coverage ever. I know Kendrick got to be pissed, and I know if you got tickets to the Super Bowl, you have to be pissed because it's going to be hell out there. The security is going to be ramped up. Like, you're going to get treated like damn near an inmate just to get into the game or to get on Bourbon Street now. So that's a whole nother lane to it.
But that's another thing you point out. The security, New Orleans is a soft target. Ever since the government took over their law enforcement in that city, New Orleans the crime has been out of control. The chief of police said that he drove around their barricades. They had barricades up for the holiday or whatever. He drove around their barricades and was able to get that car on the Bourbon Street, which when it's a festival or a celebration, they shut Bourbon Street and you can't drive down the street. That's the soft target. You couldn't do that shit in New York. You couldn't do that shit in LA.
And that's my point I was trying to make about, like, you choosing New Orleans. Y'all know you might be able to get away with certain things in New Orleans that you won't in somewhere else where it's heavily armed or customs, where you know for 9 times out of 10 you're not getting through here without having the right credentials. Like in New Orleans, just other ways to slip through with the crime rates and a lot of different stuff going on out there. There's so much stuff that happened in New Orleans. It's like they keeping some type of something over. Like you trying to keep a dark cloud over New Orleans. You know what I'm saying?
It's just no coincidence that the Super Bowl, the biggest game of the year, the most eyes of the year are going to be on New Orleans, and then first day of the year, terrorist attack on New Orleans. Like I said, everything is lining up too perfectly. And here's another key detail I found to be weird. So the mayor of New Orleans came out and made a statement shortly after and said, hey, this is a terrorist attack. Shortly after she made a statement, the FBI came out and said it's not a terrorist attack. So now the world is going, what the fuck are you talking about? Y'all just called some random kid named Luigi unaliving the CEO of some healthcare company a terrorist attack because he's a millionaire and a CEO, but a guy plowing through a crowd with an ISIS flag, explosives, and unmarked guns, shooting police, random people. That's not a terrorist attack? How does that make any sense?
Damage control.
Yeah.
Damage control. They don't want people to start really looking at it because now that becomes a way bigger problem. This Luigi dude, you could put that under wraps, control the media how you want it. But if you got somebody that you saying is coming from ISIS, some people that they necessarily couldn't always control or don't know where that type of common enemy can come from, that'll cause way more questions and way more flags to be raised and way more answers that need to be answered.
And we've seen America time and time again make certain races or certain organizations the enemy of their citizens. You know what I mean? And then have made themselves the hero, like you just said, to your point about them, giving us an enemy to be aware of. I feel like we have to take that into account as well because, like you said, the ISIS flag coming in here through Bourbon Street, it's all too just right in our faces, I feel like. Why would you, again, be a property manager, then just come flying through Bourbon Street out of nowhere? There's more to the story. You have the mix-up of state to federal. They don't know what the fuck is going on. So it's very strange to me.
These people are doing things in a way that just feels too orchestrated. Where did he get the makeshift bomb from? I mean, dude, if a little kid threatens another little kid on Call of Duty, they at your front door. So you telling me this dude ordering the materials for bombs and shit and y'all not able to track that? We know that this government is invading the privacy of its citizens. So to make me think, oh, he just slipped through the cracks is bullshit. It's just like the white dude, the racist dude in Buffalo, New York. They knew he was planning to do that. They knew he said he was going to drive down to Buffalo and shoot up something. They knew it. They just they just didn't act. So what I'm trying to tell everybody, your government, especially the liberals that run the government right now, they are trying to create fear. They're trying to create chaos because they know if they can scare you, you are willing to relinquish your rights and your freedoms in the name of safety. And what did Benjamin Franklin say? Anyone who would be willing to give up their freedoms for temporary safety deserves neither.
Yep.
Do not let them convince you that they're going to be able to protect you better than you could protect yourself. Because when you see the people getting killed, that's proof positive. They don't give a damn about you. They make money when you die. They get rich off of you dropping dead because now they can bring 10, 12, 1,500 immigrants in for every one American that died. Don't fall for it.
And here's another weird thing, because I've been on bourbon a lot. Like, New Orleans is down there my second home. I'd have been to Mardi Gras. I'd have been to the most popping of the popping events in New Orleans. The police are usually spread out throughout Bourbon Street. If you look at the video, when dude pulls up, bends the corner, and starts plowing through the crowd, it's like 15 to 20 cops sitting at the entrance of Bourbon. There's almost never any cops right there because there's no bars there when you walk into Bourbon. You got to walk down a long-ass street before you even hit the first restaurant or the first bar. So to have 15 to 20 cops sitting right there, no barricades up, like, let's just be logical about none of that makes sense.
Somebody looked the other way that day.
So I had seen somebody say, like, why in the U.S. we don't got, like I don't want to say suicide bombers, but people that'll go out suicidal for a bigger cause. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I think that these situations can be those situations that people think that we don't have in America, where you never know if they pay off his family or do certain things and get people to crash out against our own people. But we'll never know. You know what I'm saying? But so much stuff that be going on that don't make sense to people, and it's like the only thing what can make sense, because we just seen a 14-year-old tell us he'd crash out for $310 million and give it to the rest of the family. You know what I'm saying? So
Facts.
You never know what type of state of minds or what type of things that could be presented to people. It's just like you got to cover all angles, but that might be far-fetched. But I still think that a lot of these people are triggered by something, like you said, or it might be some type of something that has them motivated to do what they're doing. Nobody's just waking up.
Have y'all seen this photo of the dude laid out on the ground?
When they shot him?
Yeah. And compare that to who they saying it is, they look like two completely different guys. It's almost like the Luigi case again, because this guy actually looks Middle Eastern, but
he looked way lighter, because the other dude looked like he like my complexion.
Exactly. The other guy actually looks black. He looked like he black with a toupee on, but he looked black.
Well, his face looks lighter. The body could be light.
Very true.
The body could be lighter because you always wearing shirts and stuff.
His face too, even the hair.
Now everything looks different. Like, he has
also,
more
when
grays.
you die, you go pale too.
Nah,
People
I
change
know.
shapes.
Rigor mortis.
I don't know. I don't really know. All I know is there's nothing in my mind that doesn't believe this could have been prevented. Also, you know that New Year's Eve is a time when you got to be on high alert. Mm-hmm. And what I'm saying is, if you look at the video, that didn't look like no fucking high alert. That looked like they almost knew something was supposed to happen, because it's like, why wouldn't you put the concrete slabs there so no car could get around it? It's bullshit. You know, and the American people, you're paying your taxes so that you can be safe. And when something like this happens, fuck Sheriff Smoot, whatever his name was, where is your law enforcement? That's who you need to be holding accountable. And when stuff like this happens, how is this lady still chief of police in New Orleans when some shit happened? That resignation is supposed to be turned in the next day. You know what I'm saying? The police who were on duty, it's time to get them out of there. But the thing about New Orleans is, I'm not going to play games with you guys in New Orleans. Y'all killing each other like it ain't nothing over there anyway every damn day. So we're not going to act like 10 people dying is a big thing over there. But that whole area is a straight up cesspool.
Breaking news.
And people need to do something about it.
Breaking
the law-abiding citizens.
So apparently the AG of Louisiana revealed that there was a house fire early this morning where it appears the New Orleans terrorist cell were preparing their attack. So apparently, I don't know if they pinged the cell towers or whatever. However they figured it out, dude was at this house that was set on fire, and apparently this is where he was preparing the bombs. Because if you know, there was a big game set today. Who was supposed to play today? They wind up postponing the games. So now people are saying, did he originally want to attack at the game? Because there was going to be more people at the game. He could have went in the stadium with explosives or anything, or ran the truck into the stadium. Who knows? Did he just, panic? Something went wrong in the plan. They made an audible, and he decided to hit Bourbon Street first. But it looks like whoever
he was destroying the house, though.
Destroying the evidence.
But this is the shit I'm talking about. Now they're laying out more evidence, breaking more news. Like this is orchestrated, right, laying out in your face. Like it don't make no sense to me. If they knew this. Right now, breaking news, they knew this before when all this other information came out. There's no way that they barely tracked this dude's phone. That's immediately what you're going to go do when they go through forensics and do everything else. They're going to go find out where he was at, what he was doing, and all this other different stuff. It's just like, see, now they making me mad.
Back to what you said, though, about the law enforcement accountability. It also could just be, do these people have to be that smart when our law enforcement is going to be cheap and cut corners when it comes to the safety
They're
of
lazy.
people? Yeah, so it's like if I'm just a smidge of an intelligent person and have patience, which is what Luigi Mangione said. Really, that's what he said. It just took me a little bit of time and some, fishing technique to really get what I wanted because it's not that hard. The security is not that much. People are there. They're probably on their third or fourth.
We putting too much on it.
It's their third or fourth 12-hour shift. Niggas is trying to go home. They probably looking at the bitches. Nobody cares. Yeah, they could have got the concrete slabs, but maybe that costed more money. They cut corners. Let's get the orange shit. Fuck
we
it,
gonna
you know
have
what I mean?
2 instead of 4 or some stupid shit like that.
Nothing happens like this, blah, blah, blah. And now, look, something done happened.
Well, the thing is this. What people need to pay attention to, for one, you said that he could have did the stadium. Remember, it's a terrorist cell. A terrorist cell is multiple people. They even said in the original report, they do not feel like he acted alone. So they said it's a terrorist cell. So there's no guarantee that more attacks are not going to happen in New Orleans or other places because if they scattered out. Have you guys ever saw the movie The Siege with Denzel Washington?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When there was that terrorist cell in New York, they go and they hit different targets. But what I'm telling you right now, the American people don't accept this shit. These people are playing in your fucking face. They're purposely pulling back on security. They're purposely making these areas soft targets. They know what could potentially happen in these places, and they're playing in your face, talking about budget cuts and all this horse shit, but your taxes ain't went down.
It was the sugar. Excuse me.
Sugar
it was
Bowl?
the Sugar Bowl from Georgia versus Notre Dame.
Oh, that's gonna be
that was
big
supposed to
ass.
go on
That's
today.
big.
Yeah.
That's huge. And they released a statement saying the game is still on. We don't back down from no terrorists. Blah, blah, blah. And people was like, "Fuck are you talking about?" So somebody must have went and tapped on their shoulder like, this game is a wrap. Because if I'm a player, I'm not going to go play in that game. Nigga just slid down Bourbon with a bomb. And they said he didn't act it alone. They said it might be 4 to 5 different suspects. And you just pointed out a great point that this ain't going to be the only attack. And it was not. In other news, in Las Vegas, a Tesla Cybertruck was placed in front of Trump's tower and set on fire. They're saying it blew up because you heard a lot of explosives going off in the car, but it sounded like maybe fireworks or a homemade M80 or some shit like that. But the truck is set perfectly in camera's view, Tesla, and it was set on fire. To me, that's a direct message to Trump because we all know this whole H-1B visa thing has been going crazy. MAGA been going crazy. People been pissed off, closed the borders, blah, blah, blah. So, and Elon Musk has been basically poking at the MAGA. And he's also said, hey, I'm willing to go to war behind this. So to me, this was the first strike in the war saying, hey, Trump, get rid of bro or it's up, because they could have used any car in the world. They used a Tesla Cybertruck. Elon Musk owns Tesla. The Cybertruck is his. He designed this shit. So what are the odds the same time there's a terrorist attack in New Orleans, there's a Tesla Cybertruck in Las Vegas on New Year's set on fire? This was a direct message, in my opinion. What y'all think about it?
Not only that, he's been getting a lot of scrutiny for taking away people's blue checks and, supposedly the lack or the censorship that's coming back to Twitter. A lot of people are saying that they're losing their ability to make money and they're just, speaking free speech. So I think that's a message as well. I mean, when you look at Elon and you look at this, it definitely is a message. You don't have Elon Musk's Cybertruck in front of the Trump Tower on fire and there not be something deeper behind it. You have the H-1B visa situation as well as his Twitter debacle. I think people are just tired of Elon Musk to a certain degree, certain people, and that's what we're seeing. That's really all I think about it.
Yeah, I agree. I just think they tired of him, and I just think because he's worked his way in positions by having power just because he got money. but not necessarily even always being qualified to be in certain positions that he's in when it comes to government issues and stuff like that. So he's able to manage his way because he has probably one of the richest person in the world. So he's able to do what he wants, and people are getting fed up with that. Like you don't. They might see him not as belonging in government spaces to that extent of having so much information and so much knowledge just because you make $1.
I think that we need to just wait till Trump gets inaugurated. That's when you're gonna know what's really going on. I have faith in people like Kash Patel. I have faith in people like Homan, the guy who's in charge of the border. These guys have been they know how to do the job. They know how to get things done. We have to accept that America right now is like a store, but the doors is wide open. There's no one. The lights are on, but nobody's home. Where's Joe Biden?
Yeah.
Nobody even. These are the questions. Yeah. When these crimes and shit happen, like the way they did Trump when they prosecuted him, they were on his ass. Oh, here goes the charges. He's going to court. Oh, we're expediting the process. They're going to get him before it's time for the presidency. Now, all this stuff is going on, and you're not hearing anything from your president.
The last thing
they are taking their hands off the fucking wheel, letting this shit go out of control as much as possible. So when Trump gets inaugurated, he has a whole clusterfuck to deal with.
That's exactly what I said. That's exactly what I said. He's 20-something days in
Biden's nowhere to be found.
weeks.
Even with the topic we were just speaking on, he released a statement. Usually you would see the president get on camera and be like, yo, this is terrible. We got to do something about this. We're working around the clock, whatever the case is. He just released a statement. Bro is nowhere to be
Where's
found.
Kamala in all of this? She couldn't stay.
She's vice
Hold
president.
on.
Yeah, they nowhere to be found.
She couldn't stay from in front of a camera. All of a sudden, two of the hugest terrorist attacks of the year, actually the first terrorist attacks of the year, and nothing. I mean, what are the odds someone places a Tesla in front of the Trump Towers and we don't see security footage, CCTV footage? Y'all can't track where it came from. Y'all acting like it's just a random truck that appeared in thin air. And then, like, what are the odds dude in New Orleans get smoked on bourbon, and then the next morning, the Airbnb he was staying at magically set on fire?
So who
set it on fire?
What if the whole Tesla truck is smoke and mirrors?
Yeah.
All that could be smoke and mirrors to make y'all think how y'all thinking right now. Yeah, is this going on? We declaring this. So when something do happen, it's like, oh, it's not on us. It's not on the government. It's not on behalf of that. Y'all been knew people was plotting on us and we didn't know where it was coming from. So you never know.
So we also know anytime a major event like this happens, they're trying to take away some of your rights slowly. Started with 9/11, like Brandon pointed out. Everybody was so scared. Oh, yeah, go ahead and invade our privacy. Go ahead and collect our data and do whatever you want, long as we're safe. And we know for years they have been trying to disarm the American citizens, trying to give people to give up their guns. So in you guys' opinion, what do you believe is the angle on this attack? Because I'm really trying to look at it. He used a truck and he used guns and explosives. So it's really not a mass shooting, but then it is. But then he plowed people with the truck. Then he had the bomb. That's what made me think he was going to go to the Sugar Bowl, because blowing up bourbon does what? You go into that stadium and blow that up, like, bro, that's humongous. So to me, I'm really trying to look at the angle like, okay, which one of our rights are they trying to take? Because to me, anytime something like this happens, in my mind is get more guns. Not give mine up, get more guns.
The right that they're trying to take from you is the right to live free of fear. That's what they're trying to do. Like, do you understand societies where people live every day where they think something's going to happen? Like, you went to Egypt, right? There was a time in Egypt back in like the 70s, the 80s, the 60s, Muslim Brotherhood, they was doing all types of crazy shit. People lived in perpetual fear every day until the government of Egypt was like, all right, man, we Muslims and shit, but there's a place where you got to draw the line with this shit, Sharia law and all that, because these dudes are making this place unlivable, right? Same thing in Iran, same thing in Iraq, right? People can't prosper when they're constantly scared. That's what the Ayatollah does. He keeps people constantly thinking someone's going to kick in the fucking door or a bomb going to go off at the movie theater or something. That's how they control you, because they say, look, I am protecting you from this, so you got to give up your rights. And if you refuse to give up your rights, guess what's going to happen? You're going to start suffering from terrorist attacks. But really, we're orchestrating this shit. It's the Hegelian dialectic. That's what I think it's called, where they create chaos so you come to them to cure it or to fix it. And this is to me, this is the liberal way. Let's shit. 94 crime bill, right? What happened? We put in all these bullshit soft on crime policies. It gets so bad, old ladies can't even go outside their house. They're prisoners in their own home in major cities around the United States. The black church, along with black people, went to Joe Biden and the Democrats and begged them, please put in the 3 strikes law. Yep. Please get tougher on crime. Please. And they turned around and used that shit to do what? Abuse you. They abused you to the point where they locked up millions of your men, fathers, sons, and all that. And then said, wait, you asked for this. And Biden says that to this day. I'm not apologizing for the 94 crime bill because they asked me to do that.
More breaking news. They're allegedly investigating an event in Houston. So now we jumping from New Orleans, Vegas, now Houston. So to me, every major city is now on alert because I'm thinking, well, shit, who we got left? We got D.C., California. Like, where else they gonna hit? So like you said, now the whole country is in this fearful mind state. And when you're scared, it's hard to think critically. Unless you were trained to think critically in mass hysteria, you're not going to think at all. And you just want to be safe. And the same people allegedly causing the chaos are the same people allegedly telling you, hey, I can make this safe for you. But give me your guns. We're going to keep the guns to keep you safe from the bad guys. But if we go down history, why all the bad guys have a connection to the good guys? You told us Osama bin Laden was the bad guy. Come to find out, he's good friends with the Bush family, and he's actually fucking CIA. He was CIA. What are the fucking odds of that? The CIA is always caught up in this some way. Even the school shooters you pointed out. Like, oh, they look like good candidates. Well, why they all got contact with the CIA before they pulled this shit off? Right. That's why I said MK Ultra. They sending some type of vibration. They pushing some type of button. This shit, they may be even bots. I mean, they're doing the cloning shit.
But these
might be fucking NPCs doing these shit.
But these people are so damn weak-minded, you don't even need clones or nothing. You just tell them some shit over the internet. Look, ISIS got people, you saw that story about that dude, white dude took his whole family to Syria to fight against America. The ISIS people just indoctrinated him over the internet. Just send them emails, Allah this and blah, blah, blah. And he just wanted to be a part of something. But this is why they're doing it. They do this shit every time. Remember before the 2020 election, what did they do? They let these niggas go crazy over George Floyd, let them burn down the cities and all that. Why? People got scared. Oh my God, this is happening under Trump's watch. We need to vote for anyone other than him. What's coming up? Midterm elections. 2 years. Democrats are going to be fighting for their lives in the Congress, right? So if we tarnish the entry of Trump into the presidency, if we make it look like, damn, the world fell apart right as he was becoming president, there are people who are going to hold on to that for 2 years. Those midterm elections come, man, anybody but Trump, anybody but the Republicans, right?
Where's Biden?
That's what I'm saying.
Where's Biden?
Sleep at the wheel, dude.
Where's Biden? All y'all say, oh, Biden, he's the savior. Where's he at? Where's Kamala? Like, where are any
the vice president?
They're still in office, bro.
The last time we heard of Biden, he was getting the ankle monitor cutting off Big Meat's brother.
Biden is actually on vacation
He tried to get in cool with the niggas using Big Meats. Not gonna work, bro. And let's address this George Floyd thing for a minute.
George Floyd,
this is like white people's ace in the hole. So in the eyes of many white Americans, George Floyd is a hero to the black community. I don't know why they think this, but let's go down that rabbit hole. Black people don't really even mention George Floyd. But every time something happens, the first thing white America does, jump on Twitter, jump in your Instagram comments, Facebook comments, and they bring up George Floyd. So I think them orchestrating what happened with Floyd low-key backfired. They thought it was going to keep us tripping, and it looked like it got white America tripping because they're constantly on edge, afraid to be the next Derek Chauvin or whatever the fuck that clown name is. And they are living in constant fear now of being the next him to the George Floyd.
It's not even going to, at the end of the day, when it comes to this situation, like people worry about white people. It's not going to be white people as far as black people are concerned. It's going to be the other groups, Mexicans, Arabs, Asians. They're going to be the ones who end up coming at black people like, all right, we tired of this shit. You know what I'm saying? This bullshit. Y'all tearing up shit. Y'all communities is fucked up. Y'all shooting, people getting shot and shit like that. So white people are kind of just like, we're not going to touch you. We're going to create a situation. We're going to vilify you to the point where these other groups want to come after you. And it's working. But at the end of the day, look, Joe Biden's on vacation. Kamala Harris is the vice president. She is literally choosing not to perform her duty, her job as vice president, because she's licking her wounds from getting trounced by Trump. I don't know when people are going to realize these people don't give a fuck about you. If politicians don't give a fuck about you, the Democrat politicians really don't give a fuck about you, because right now they're not even running the country. So you need to be asking yourself, who is making the day-to-day decisions? Biden is on vacation. Kamala is in La La Land somewhere trying to get away with them billions of dollars that she stole. Who's running the country? The Secretary of State? Nobody knows what's going on, and that's a problem. So as much as they try to fearmonger you over Trump, understand, Trump is not president yet. Trump has not been inaugurated yet. So basically, this is like a car with nobody at the wheel, and it's just going down a fucking hill, hoping that it doesn't crash into a tree. If that's what you guys are cool with, keep doing what you're doing.
What y'all think about the George Floyd thing? Because they're trying to force him to be a hero to black people. And then they're trying to rewrite history. Oh, it wasn't the knee in the neck. It was the methamphetamines and blah, blah, blah. Whatever the case, if you didn't put your knee on his neck for 30 damn minutes, that wouldn't even have been a debate topic.
I think unfortunately, we to a certain degree put ourselves in that position, right? Like, we championed George Floyd. I don't want to say champion, but we really were in an uproar by that. And I think it lasted for a while. He was on Time magazine. I mean, it was shit like that. We had Kaepernick doing Nike ads. There was a lot of things going on at that time that I think we did that showed that we were really emotionally invested in these situations. And if you even go on places like Twitter or TikTok, YouTube, people were on there crying or, you know, being violent over people talking about George Floyd. It was a serious thing. So I'm saying that I think we did it to ourselves. Like, that is why white people think they can get online and say George Floyd and you're going to go crazy, because there, unfortunately, is a lot of examples of black people letting it get to them.
Kali, black people.
Hold on. What you think about him, Masai?
Nah, it's like, I don't want to downplay it, but they've been playing off our emotions since the beginning of time. Like, even when they still do with the slavery stuff, like they throw something out there about that. Anything that happens traumatic that we see that happens to our people, we attach it. Like he just said, you get emotional about it and you get stuck on it. They could bring up Trayvon Martin. They could bring up all these people, and people are going to react a certain way. Like, you're not supposed to do this, you're not supposed to do that. But nobody's going to do nothing about it. They just going to react emotionally, and you're going to be triggered and controlled. That's just another way for them to have us moving around a certain way. So I don't really try to look too deep into that. What's done is done. We didn't do shit about it, but stand up and make noise about it. And that's going to keep happening as long as the same way that, like you just said, you don't want to talk about the boy that just got beat by the police.
What's his name?
Killed him. I forget.
Robert Brooks.
Yeah, whooped him, handcuffed, beat him in his groin everywhere in certain areas and all type of stuff until the dude died. Like, and it's the same thing. We get emotional. The first thing I see people on there do, let's go march and protest. And I'm just like, you know what? It is what it is. Until somebody... It's good. You're going to have to be ready to crash out. If you're not ready to do that and try to do it in a smart way, then it's not going, nothing's going to change. They're not going to respect us. They don't respect us because even when things happen to us here, they have no threats from nowhere else. You do stuff to Asian people, you're going to have to answer to Asia most likely. You know what I'm saying? Or in different races. You deal with Hispanics or Mexicans, Mexico is going to have a problem with that. They're not going to just be cool with you fucking over their people over here. Like, it's going to be a problem.
And not only that, my bad.
I just want to point out, that's a great point, and that's why I'm 100% against the FBA versus Tether thing, because that causes that divide and that unity and that power structure that we could have more of. Like you said, if they over here doing that to FBA's Foundational Black Americans, then you got Jamaica, you got Haiti, you got everybody across these. Like, wait a minute, we tripping. We are now a bigger power force than just us here alone.
And
like
y'all coming for our resources, y'all not getting nothing from us.
It's over. When y'all come to our country, we fucking y'all over that's in the country, because if you do something to a Russian here like that, Putin tripping. Any Americans over there in Russia, they best believe
you might not even make it back.
That's what I mean. They tripping. So black people have to unify for that reason because we don't own anything. We don't have any major nothing corporations. We don't own no banks. We don't own no coal mines, no diamond. We don't own anything that
Africa
we could say.
got a lot of the greatest resources that they come get from us.
Yeah, but they sold
there.
it. But imagine if we own something like that, and then this happens, and we say, you know what? Until we get justice, y'all get no parts of this. Well, we taking this off the table. Well, now they gotta respect us.
Well, if you go to Africa, there's shit that's over there. The banks and all that are majority owned by African people, right? It ain't like here we don't own shit. We just eating off of white people shit all the time. But what I was gonna tell Callie, man, black people don't give a fuck about no George Floyd. I'm telling you that right now. Niggas don't even care about their own people in their own community getting killed, my nigga. A nigga kills somebody in the black community, niggas will be like, that dude gets arrested. You will see people with shirts talking about free my nigga fast. They'll be on the internet typing up, oh, that's the homie. We was in the 6th grade together. I remember when that nigga did this. Oh, I remember when he slapped that nigga, snatched that nigga chain. We celebrate killers and murder up in our community. You saw the movie South Central. All you gotta do is watch those old movies. When the nigga was like, I suck your dick and the nigga, old dog smoked him. Did any of the niggas be like, Menace to Society, my bad. When he smoked the nigga, did anybody say, what the fuck did you do that for? Oh my God, this is horrible. No, they just... He's dead. He's a crackhead.
Nah, it was horrible because of what the crackhead did. And his reaction was justified by the way he got at him.
That's not justified.
That was justifiable.
No, you can't take nobody's life because they say something you don't like.
You're not going to say that because if a nigga do that to you in prison and a nigga stab a nigga over that, niggas is not going to say, niggas is going to say this is what happens in prison. That's what happens in the streets.
What I'm telling you is that's prison rules. We live in the regular world.
That wasn't regular world. He was in the streets.
Listen,
he didn't live by the regular world rules.
There is nobody who will justify killing somebody because they're addicted to drugs so bad that they're willing to do sexual acts to get money to get those drugs. The guy was in a bad state of shape. He was in bad shape. If that dude looked at that dude like his brother, right? Like, this is somebody who black like me. He wasn't going to kill that dude over that. Nobody would do that. That was inhumane. And the people didn't react. But that was a real depiction of the black community. We celebrate death and destruction, and we glorify the people who do it. So when you see George Floyd dying and people are like, we're going to go march for him, that is not people doing something because it is their choice to do it or because they want something done. That is just a program reaction that we have to any type of trauma. Because what happened? Niggas use it as an excuse to go do what? Loot. Y'all out here protesting for George Floyd. What part of where does breaking into GameStop factor into that? Or breaking into freaking going into GNC and stealing all the fucking
You know what's
supplements?
crazy? I went down to Beverly Hills during the protest and they had all the shops, they had the corners blocked off with police. And then after a couple hours, the police just let people in to loot.
Right.
But this the key thing. The windows were already broken. The windows to the shops were already broken. I seen it with my own fucking eyes. They were already broken. So they wanted people to loot, to put this image out on us, to basically highlight what Brandon's saying. They don't give a fuck about George Floyd. They don't give a fuck about this. They don't do this when their people are killing each other. Look, they're coming to get free TVs, designer bags, shoes. It was a free for all.
The symbolizer of the looting is now the same way y'all didn't give a fuck. We don't give a fuck. It's just it's the way you express your I don't give a fuck. That's all it is.
The only person,
I know what you're saying. Instead of them going to murder somebody, if they would have went on a fucking killing spree about George Floyd, about any of these people would have talked about how stupid they was for doing life. So instead of that, they said we don't give a fuck. We gonna go come up on something.
This is why y'all got to read Blueprint for Black Power by Dr. Amos Wilson. He talks about this. He talks about how black people, when white people aggress against us, we don't go at them. We go and aggress against each other. Black dude get yelled at and cussed out at his job. His boss shit on him. He don't go to the boss like, hey, I don't appreciate that fucking shit you was saying. He goes home. And I have. You do that. You do that, right? Most black people ain't gonna do that. He gonna go home and beat up on his fucking wife, beat up on his fucking kids, and ultimately he gonna go home and destroy himself by what? Drinking till he's fucking falling down, smoking fucking cigarettes, smoking
police
weed.
Have the highest wife beating rate, by the way.
Yeah, because
put that on the police, not
right.
niggas.
But no,
even let's be correct when we say this sometimes. Majority of people are not going to go after law enforcement. Let's not just say random white people on the streets is marking niggas out. Because that shit is not happening. Niggas ain't getting aggressive with niggas on the streets because niggas is walking up on a whole other side of the street from niggas. So let's not sit here and say that. When it's law enforcement, yes, that a lot of niggas don't want to go back and forth with it. And then the niggas that do go back and forth with it, other niggas gonna watch you. This is why perfect examples of niggas like George Floyd get choked out because niggas be marked out and don't want to help.
If you look at the facts, it has nothing to do with that. Derek Chauvin was arrested. That nigga had got convicted and got dead. I think he got killed in prison. Niggas, after he was being held accountable, he was on trial. Niggas destroyed their own community. You cannot tell me that niggas are getting back at white people by burning down all the businesses in their community. They destroy CVS. I'm surprised CVS opened back up because the other motherfucker, your kid is sick.
I'm not denying the fact that what you saying ain't true. The only thing I'm saying is that niggas will get aggressive with aggressors. It just depends on the badge part. Like we say, without the badge, you a bitch in the
That's
half.
like me doing.
If this person wasn't moving with this badge, they would not be getting at you the same way, and niggas would be stomping mud holes in niggas. If you see random white niggas packing you out, cuz niggas is not gonna not get aggressive with them.
Niggas gonna
But
record.
hold on. Both of y'all, hold on. Both. I'm about to go take a piss. Both of y'all are right at the same time. You're right and he's right. Because let's just say something happening. And us for like, oh shit, police is doing somebody dirty. We finna turn up on them. And we go turn up on them. But every other black person there are programmed to be afraid of the police. They're not gonna turn up with you like the Panthers. They're gonna pull their phones out. Man, these niggas tripping. Them niggas went up on the police.
Yeah, them niggas crazy.
And half your homies gonna be calling you stupid and shit. Like, man, that nigga dumb as fuck. They helping a nigga he don't know. Now he doing life. So this is why people don't do that. But when we had like the Panthers, one Panther came out there with his rifle, guess what? It was 100 more with their rifles. What's up? What we doing? Y'all got guns, we got guns. That's why they put so much effort into dismantling that, and not even just the movement, the mindset, because it was the mindset that caused the fear. Like, damn, all these niggas militant. We can't do that to them in front of them now, and they gonna pull his iPhone out, but try to hurry up and go viral off your shit and get monetized.
But fear of authority is natural. These people are in a position of authority. What we're doing is as stupid as we see the police beating up one black person and we go cut our own fucking arm off. Like, that's literally what we're doing. The police did XYZ. So now we're going to go destroy our own community and make our communities unlivable. They rebuild the community and now you're priced out of it. It makes no sense. That's how you know it has nothing to do with George Floyd. It has everything to do with niggas being opportunistic.
Nah, that's true.
I got an excuse to go steal shit.
So, because to the original point when he asked, why do white people like think or use George Floyd as some type of like thing against us on social media, or they'll just say his name and think we're supposed to be up in arms. Why do you think that is? Do you think it's because we had an emotional reaction? Like, what do you think it is? Because to the original point, what I was saying was, I think we gave them that ammo by reacting the way that we did.
He answered it. That's why he said niggas don't give a fuck about him. But and I agree to that. Like, I don't really get reactionary or feeling no type of way if they doing that online. It's not really finna affect me emotionally like that.
But you give me
I'm gonna tell you why white people do that. White people do that to try to establish a connection with you. That's like when they bring up Martin Luther King. They really don't give a fuck about what's going on with you. They really don't understand why you act the way you act, because no one's going to understand someone who acts in a self-destructive manner in a response to somebody hurting them, right? So they bring up George Floyd to try to like make a connection with you, to kind of get you to kind of let your guard down with them. And they think that that is something that they feel like if we express sympathy or sorrow for something that they told us really affected their community in a traumatic way, maybe they will open up and we can have like communication with them. White people are trying to figure out how to get Negroes from acting so goddamn ridiculous and violent, right? They don't know how to do it because the Negro is not easy to figure out, but they're starting to figure us out. And what they're starting to figure out is these niggas are great actors. They're totally fucking hypocritical and they really don't care about this shit, but they will use it if they think it's gonna get them something.
I don't feel like
they'll gain something off of it. And that's how niggas is. Right now, the dude who just got killed, Robert Brooks, right? Robert Brooks is dead, right? Or not, let's not use Robert Brooks. Let's use Jordan Neely, right? Jordan Neely got killed. Black people are mad because a white guy killed a black guy? No, they don't give a fuck about that. Black people are mad because they have to pretend and act like they care about Jordan Neely so that they can get some type of special treatment from white people. Maybe the cops won't be on us as it's tough. They'll be afraid to enforce the law. Also, his family, they just want a payday. They're talking about money. They want to bring Ben Crump in and shit. You can tell it's fake because the same people always come in. Al Sharpton, Ben Crump. If it was real, niggas would be like, man, get the fuck out my face about some money. I want to see this nigga pay for what he did to my brother.
I want some loot too.
Well, of course,
to your point about like them bringing up George Floyd to be a connection, I think it's more so to be like a mockery, as in
right.
Your homeboy got murked out here. We know it was wrong, bro. You know what I mean? Got off, or he was a crackhead, this and that. This is who's in your culture, and you guys are mad at it. At the same time, you guys can't do shit about it, and you guys are below us class-wise, education-wise, et cetera. I feel like when people bring up George Floyd on social media or in person, if they bring him up out of nowhere, it's to be a mockery to us.
Hold on. Brief in the
middle. I want to ask you, in what context are y'all saying? Like, they just wake up one day and just bring him up?
No, people be arguing on social media, or people just post pictures of him, post jokes about it, and they think we're supposed to be, because they think it's going to really touch us.
Anytime you get in a debate with a white person on social media, 90% of the time they bring up George Floyd because they think it's going to hit an emotional trigger, just like they use the N-word, thinking it's going to hit an emotional trigger. But it doesn't hit the way that they think it does. That's the point I'm getting at. But to segue, it kind of ties into this. Somebody out there, a supporter, I forget his name, wanted us to address this. So shout out to you, bro. This for you. I know y'all seen that KKK interview video that's circulating. The KKK guy who had the purple hood on and all of that. And he was talking about how...
Yeah, that video been out for years.
Yeah, it's been out for years, but it's recirculating again with what happened to dude in New York. So basically, he was like, the KKK don't really unalive blacks no more because we don't have to. We indoctrinated them enough. We just sit back and they unalive themselves at a rate we never, ever was able to unalive them. So now we just got to sit back and watch them off each other. So with the whole black community...
he was basically saying too, like, he just go drop some coke off or drop some liquor off and some guns and really we gonna kill ourselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So seeing that and knowing that was the plan, at what point do black people go, damn, time to wake up? Because when a cop does it or a white person does it and unalives us, everybody want to march. Everybody want to do whatever. But when a nigga unalive a nigga for no reason, niggas ain't tripping. Niggas just like, man, shit, it is what it is.
Like, say if you, look, I want to just real quick touch on this.
Okay.
Say, you never been in a gang, right? No. But say you banging, right? Say you in the hood, you on 17th and Linden, you a 20 Crip. You see a nigga that's from somewhere else. Nigga might not even be from Long Beach, but you know the nigga not from your hood. You hit up the nigga like, nigga, where the fuck you from? Where you from, right? The nigga like, nigga, I'm from Nutty Block, Compton Crip. Nigga already know he out of bounds a little bit in Long Beach, right? First thing the nigga gonna do, if he knows somebody from your hood, he gonna mention that person.
Name drop.
He gonna name drop. Because if you know the person he know, he feels like he's kind of letting you know that he's cool. That gets you to be like, oh, you homies with whoop-de-whoop? Like, okay, you might stall him out, or you might just be like, I ain't trying to fuck with the nigga, because if I do fuck with him, he do know the homie, it might be some consequences.
Unless cut fully with the shit. So like, nigga, fuck you,
some
nigga.
niggas be like, nigga, I'm niggas fuck with him, though.
Hold on, bro.
Cut not here. And your homie better be a rat.
You gotta think about what you...
Wait, but what I'm saying is, if and I'm using those gangsters because, right? Yeah. But what I'm saying is, that's the same thing white people are doing on the internet with George Floyd. They know they're in hostile territory. They going at it on the internet. Niggas hot, right? They'll bring that up to try to get you to be like, oh, well, if this person, basically they want to get that. Oh, well, this person's invited to the cookout.
What about the KKK? What about the KKK?
He's saying it like a mockery.
No, but I'm saying, address the KKK shit. We went back to Floyd, nigga.
I mean, I'm
talking about the KKK video.
I know what
they
you're
basically saying, you niggas is dumb. We're telling you in your face. We got y'all killing each other.
Okay.
We put guns here. We dumped guns on the train in Chicago. We dumped crack in Watts and Compton.
PNB
and all y'all
unalive
each other over blocks you don't own.
For one, people always...
What y'all think about that?
People always say over blocks niggas don't own. But at the end of the day, a lot of people want to be a part of something. And if you've been gang banging for a long time, you're already programmed and conditioned to be a certain way. And most of us, until the day we die, regardless of the extent or the level that you're doing it, that's just what it is. It's been tried since the beginning of time. tribes ain't never gonna stop. Now, if black people are smart enough to transcend and create a bigger tribe and create a bigger enemy and go against something like that, that's the only way. As crazy as it sounds, majority of niggas don't want to stop gangbanging because that is their life purpose. That what they feel they need to live and die for. That's it. They have nothing else. The moment they stop gangbanging, they become nobody in society and nobody in their hood. And then it's like, what am I doing? I might as well kept doing this and went out with a bang until unless they get 100 years with the niggas that regret ever doing it in the first place. But the moment you're in the field, it's a different ball game. It's a different mindset. It's not going to change until maybe the reputables create something bigger, a black flag, and then we going after people that's really on something that's far as that's going against black people. But a lot of majority of people want to be a part of something. And until you can give them something to be a part of for a greater cause, they're not stopping.
Until you join a gang, you don't really realize, like, it's niggas whose whole dream of life was to be, like, I remember when the homie was like, bro, my whole life I wanted to be a 20 Crip. I said, nigga, who even thinks like that? You a little kid, you like, I want to be a firefighter, a police officer, or something. This nigga was like, nigga, from the time I was little, all I want to do was bang the set. I was like, you don't believe that's possible until you meet those people. They live for that shit. That's it for them. But yeah, and then later on, the nigga might go to jail and learn how to do a trade and be like, man, I'm a carpenter now, man. I'm a steel worker now. Now he's a part of a union, a part of a brotherhood. You know, they got shit like that. And that's one of the ways they get people away from gangs. They create like programs where they make it like a brotherhood and y'all sit together and y'all eat together and y'all get up and talk about where y'all came from and shit like that, like the homeboy industries and stuff like that. So Messiah's 1,000% right. I don't even, with the KKK shit, I just bring up P&B Rock. P&B Rock was a perfect example of what the KKK leader was saying. P&B Rock came to LA. He's an artist. He sat at Roscoe's, a classic black eatery. He wasn't doing nothing. He wasn't bothering nobody. He should have been safe in a black establishment in a black neighborhood that's quickly going Latino, right? P&B Rock is more safe in the heart of Klan country than he is in Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles in Los Angeles off of Main and freaking Manchester or whatever that shit is. But why is that? Because black people at this point are more of a threat to black people than even the grand dragon of the KKK.
And that's a great point, because let me point that out. The reason black people get money and move to the suburbs around white people is not because they want to be around white people, because it's just safer. Like, that's just what it is. It's not chasing white people in a sense. It's chasing safety, which is kind of wild, because crazy. You would think you would be safer around your people. But the most dangerous place for you as a black person in America is around your people.
No, it's not even necessarily around your people. It's around the broke people. You're not. It's not going to be as dangerous if everybody in this neighborhood got money. I have no reason to come take from you. Now you're in a poverty-stricken establishment, and I see somebody that might can change my motherfucking life with some jewelry he got on. Yes, hey, come get him. Matter of fact, why you didn't call me, nigga? I would have probably did the same thing at a time in my life. So that's the only difference I see. It wouldn't matter if he was fucking P&B Rock. It could have been anybody. They would have came and got whoever came in there, looked like he was shining with some jewelry on. Especially you coming from out of town, nigga. That you're automatically dead wrong. He should have been moving smarter. From being a street nigga, sorry to say that, but he should have moved smarter. Should have never sat down and ate in there. Even if you don't go inside and order. Yeah, you know this already. Like you said, if you can't be around black people to that extent, as sad as it say, you can't, nigga. So move better, move smarter, nigga. Niggas is coming to get that. But that's all it's gonna be.
So it's really poverty, not black people.
No,
and hold on, because this is the key. No, I'm telling you, what proves this?
If that was a Mexican,
what proves?
Let me tell you what proves
this.
PPP. When niggas had PPP, you were seeing ops down at the jury district who is on site, walking by each other. Sup, cuz? Sup, blood? Sup, third? Sup, hood?
But niggas also was getting
and niggas was still like, you know what? Though. I'm coming to get my chain and my rollie. You coming to get your chain, whatever you bought. I'll catch you when I catch you. But niggas was too happy spending money at the Beverly Center. Everywhere you could go. The shooters went down. Crime went down. The second niggas lost that money, crime shot back up. And niggas back hungry.
But we can say this too, because even if you go to different places, even if you go to different countries, they could be friendly as hell. And you might can get out your room, nigga, leave some shit in your room open that look like something, nigga. They'll come steal that shit right out your fucking room, nigga, because they're in poverty-stricken places too. These hotels, or they're not getting as much money as you. They think you're American and you're coming out.
I don't know.
Look at that video in Africa.
I don't know.
What I'm saying is,
he's right.
What I'm saying is the nature of humans. It's human nature
That's fact.
to where you have to adjust to something to get more. If it's more and I have an opportunity to take it, yes, I'm taking it.
I'm telling you right now, for fact, P&B Rock could have went to the poorest white neighborhood in America, the poorest Mexican neighborhood in America. He could have went to the poorest.
Mexico, they booking.
He could have went to
crazy.
I
seen a nigga get booked out the Super Bowl.
Are y'all gonna let me make my
bad? Go ahead.
You
right.
Yeah. He could have went to the poorest Puerto Rican hood in America. He would have been fine because only black people feel like it's okay to do that to each other. I'm going to give you a prime example. Show me one example in the past 20 years of any rich rapper, actor, anything that's not black, going back to their community, to a poor community anywhere, and getting killed. Justin Bieber went to the Nickerson Gardens, nigga. They did nothing to him. They played basketball him, was hugging him and all that. Why? Because he's white. They see that whiteness, they respect that. They saw P&B Rock, he was just another nigga.
Kendrick just went performing in Nickerson. Did nothing happen to him.
Listen, Kendrick is from Watts.
Kendrick is from Compton.
He's from here. But what I'm telling you is when they saw P&B Rock, they saw a black life. It's just like Tupac said, tell me what a black life is worth. In the eyes of a black person, not nothing. Because white people have gone to those neighborhoods. If he would have came to Roscoe's in Long Beach, nothing would happen to him. You know why? Because it ain't no niggas really around there.
He would have still got booked.
No, I don't believe that.
Hold on, because you love to bring up Africa.
But let me say one thing though. Would P&B Rock be alive today if he didn't have a jury on?
Probably so.
Probably not.
Most likely.
There was no reason to come get him.
They would have assumed he
was
was
no reason to go fuck with him.
They didn't even care about it being P&B Rock. They knew this nigga had jury on, had money. And the people up there that worked at the establishment probably called somebody.
Exactly.
Hey, we got one.
Yeah.
Okay, so it don't matter. So it's not just about him being black. It didn't matter if that nigga was black, white. Justin Bieber ain't going to Nickerson Gardens with $300,000 in jury on, nigga. He gonna get booked.
We don't know what Justin Bieber had.
The video that you see, he didn't have shit on. Nigga came in there in some bullshit ass clothes.
Facts.
Nigga ain't hella cameras around.
He
nigga
getting stripped.
That nigga's not coming around doing that.
To rebuttal your point, nigga, in Mexico, the police is booking you.
But we not talking about Mexico.
I'm just saying
the worst parts of anywhere.
The people, okay, you want to talk about America now.
Just
you just
tell me an example of where it happened.
What white people from a hood comes back to a hood? Name somebody.
They go back to their old day.
Where?
They go to where they grew up.
Irvine? Glendale?
No, all white people didn't grow up in rich
neighborhoods.
neighborhoods.
They're not coming to the hood. Listen, white people get rich.
If you
hold on, bro. White people get rich, they don't go back. When the last time you seen Eminem on 8 Mile?
Bro,
he's not going.
How many white people you know that came from the hood?
Bro,
that's even made right now.
Hold on, wait, because the thing that we're forgetting is that that's not a requirement when you get on in other cultures. So in white culture, you're not looked at as a negative person or a sellout if you leave from buttfuck Montana and never come back.
Because they all got money.
No, you're not getting what I'm saying. Is that like
I know exactly
they
what
don't
you're saying.
care about that shit.
Bro,
we care about that shit.
You can't
we care about if you from here and you leave and you don't come back. This is not. White people don't care about that shit.
No, that's low key a fact, bro.
They don't care about that shit.
That's a fact, bro.
I hate when black people try to act like they know what the fuck white people think.
I
don't know.
I probably know more white people than you.
You just said what you said. It was
they care about
bullshit,
that.
but let me say what I gotta say to it. You white people live in the country. Kid Rock lives right in the country, right by where he grew up. These people don't even really leave where they from. They might move in a bigger house in the same area. What I'm telling you is niggas for decades been telling you that the number one problem in America for black people is racism.
But what are you disagreeing with me on? Wait, what are you disagreeing with me on?
Where was the disagreement? Because you went somewhere else.
No, because he said white people don't care about going back to where they came from.
No, that's not what he said. He said it's not a requirement for white people to come back and keep it real. Hold on, bro. The way that black people are required to come back. And if you don't come back, your community now grows a hatred for you to the point where you do come back. Now they want to victimize you. Hold on, for not coming back. The country people that live near Kid Rock don't give a fuck if he lived there or Los Angeles. They happy somebody from their hometown made it and they champion him and he's not vilified for not coming back and keeping it real. They don't grow a hatred. They actually grow a love and admiration. It's two different mindsets, bro. That's what he's saying.
There's no requirement for a black artist to come back. Denzel Washington, when the last time he been back to us? You don't even know where it is. Chris Rock, when's the last time back to us? But wait, let me say this. What I'm telling you is a black person is safer. I want to put this out so we could dispel the bullshit racism myth. A black person is safer in the heart of Klan country. Listen, a black person is safer in the heart of Klan country than they are in their own community.
Man,
you can go on YouTube.
And that's why people still getting lynched down south.
You can go on YouTube right now.
You're not going to go to Klan country.
This nigga cap,
Here we go. Here we go with the ignorant shit. Look.
You can't go to downtown and just chill.
You can go on YouTube, this same platform you about to be on right now, and there are YouTubers going to the most racist cities in America. White people like, I don't like period. But I don't do nothing to you.
He's right, though.
Am I wrong? Am I right?
You're right.
Okay,
you're right.
Hey, hold on. Let me say one thing. I want anybody.
I've seen the video.
That's not cap.
I want anybody in the comments that's from Mississippi or anywhere out that way and come on in these comments and let him know what they still be going on down there. When before the sun come down, nigga, they blocking off the highway. They blocking off everything. If y'all bombs don't get up out of here, y'all know what time it is.
Hold on, Brandon.
And what they doing?
No, because he's cap.
I'm telling you, towards down Tallahassee,
they have crews, bro. Listen, ask a truck driver. They have crews that sit at the borders of their town like police, but these are residents, Klansmen. If you come in and you color, they'll tell you, hey, you better be the fuck about this town before the sun go down. Just because you've seen one YouTube video
it ain't one.
No, listen, that does not represent living there. You're not gonna just post up. And even in some of them videos,
there's multiple instances of truckers getting lynched and shit.
Listen, I'm not tripping like that because I'm old, because most of them be old as hell. But listen, it's gonna be trouble if you stay here. In the video.
Bullshit.
Also, there's multiple instances of truckers, black truckers doing their jobs and then ending up dead in the woods or some shit in all different parts of the South. That's true as well. That is true as well.
I'm telling you, this is all cap. Niggas will try to click.
What's cap?
Black
it
people,
can happen. It can happen, bro. Either way.
Listen, this is the funny part. Black people will try to cling on to one instance or a couple of instances of something happening and say, "Oh, white people are so dangerous." Take your ass to South Central.
We never said they was dangerous.
Use the words that
we never said they was dangerous.
Look. You can go to the city where the Grand Dragon of the KKK lives, nigga. You can go walk through that city.
So you have never proven this.
There's people proving it every
you
day.
prove it. You prove it.
Because you give us one instance that we never seen.
Listen,
you prove it.
If you want to go for me, I'll go down there.
Yes.
I'll go down
How
there
long
tomorrow.
did they stay? Hold on. How long did they stay? A quick walkthrough?
Bro, no. They spent the night. They went out at nighttime. It was a guy. He's still with a Black Lives Matter sign.
Show us this right now.
You seen it, Colin. You seen it.
That does not represent living there.
Come on.
That's true. Hold on, and Brandon, what I will say is that during the videos, a lot of people.
You're using the exception and making it the rule. No,
and during the video, a lot of times the black person will be like, I seen one where he stopped at a town before the town, and every black person he ran into when he told him where he was going, they was like, oh, you going there? Like, okay, like I guess so. Like it's okay now, but it does have a racist history. Like
we didn't say it was 100% fatality rate.
Listen,
they still look at it that way.
Listen, you can be an op and go to your op hood and might make it through.
Listen,
how many niggas do that every day? Go fuck with a bitch in they op hood, then get touched.
This is what black.
That don't mean you won't get hurt there.
People do. This is what black people do,
bro.
We make a judgment on something based off of history while trying to ignore the present. The present is right now. You're black. Hey, God damn it. You got black people from California. They're like, man, I'm moving out of California. It's too expensive. Where are you going? I'm moving to Mississippi. I'm moving to Alabama. I'm moving to fucking northern Louisiana. They're right in the heart of what would be considered clan country. But it used to be that way. There may be some racist remnants of that. But right now, you can drive from one tip of Mississippi to the other side of Mississippi, and most likely nothing gonna happen to you.
Have you done that? Have you done that? Have you done that?
Yes, my family went to our family reunions were down south every year. We either was going to.
Have you went to a sundown town?
My family.
Have
you asked me a question.
Went to a sundown
you
town.
asking me a question.
Answer.
And you won't let me answer. Every single year as a child, our family reunion was either in Little Rock, Arkansas, or Columbus, Georgia. When you drive, we rented a van every year. We drove through Mississippi. We drove through Alabama.
Are you hearing what you're saying?
We drove all the way to.
Drove through. Did you stop and post?
You guys are set, bro.
Did you post?
Oh my God! 1 minute it is so racist.
Did you post?
You just told me that
I drove through.
Wait a minute.
What the fuck?
No, you just told me that there are
This thing is
people.
crazy.
Didn't he just say there are road crews sitting by the sides of the road?
But it don't matter because they're letting you know. He said
So
they
where
let
were they when I was a kid?
He said they're letting you know.
Where were they?
A kid, you might not even know what was
Why
going
did
on.
they stop us?
You might have not even known
Why
what was
did
going
they
on.
stop
So why you said we talking about old shit? Why you going so far back into
No,
his
I
went to
kid?
his childhood.
Because it's
Nah,
even
but you
better
said we're talking
now.
about the present. Why are you talking about
When
What
I
I'm
was
telling
went
you,
through this.
listen, what I'm telling you is if 20 or almost 40 years ago, we could do that. The South didn't get more racist in 40 years. It got less racist. Now you go those places, you got white women having babies by black dudes and vice versa. All up in, back
And
in
they
the
get
day,
banished from their community.
No, they don't.
They on the list
Bro,
called
my
black.
uncle lives in a place called Warner Robins, Georgia. You never even heard of it. It's straight clan country, bro. Straight hillbilly country. My uncle bought a house over there, married a freaking white woman. His damn son is married to a white woman, and they got a shitload of kids running around them damn trailers and shit, playing outside.
Listen,
Most people are interracial.
Listen, I'm ended on this.
Is your uncle Clayton?
Exactly. It might be Clayton Bixby, nigga. If he anything like you, I know why he able to buy a house.
What the hell?
I'm ending on this.
Now we gotta change it.
The exception to the rule doesn't change
That
the
ain't
rule.
no exception.
The very same way he talking about, bring up a YouTube video. You can bring up a YouTube video, people saying the opposite. You can bring up a YouTube video of a white girl saying, hey, I got blacklisted from the white community. This actually came out on Twitter. They have a list called Blacked of white women's names and photos. You can look this up while I'm talking. If you ever been known publicly to fuck with a black man, the white community there puts you on this list called Blacked. But anyways, hold on, let's move on because that topic is over.
Wait. They also put you in a club called the NBA, the NFL. Nothing but white people mixing with
Less
black
than
people.
1%, nigga. Less than 1%. They want
white people
they want
love
some money.
having babies with black motherfuckers now. They love it. Poor rich.
And they need your melanin because they dying
love
off.
that black dick.
I'm gonna tell you like this. Hold
it.
on, let's talk music for a second. Joey Badass just jumped out the window.
Who's that? No, I'm just
So Joey Badass released a freestyle over the Ruler's Back, the Jay-Z beat. He said, too much West Coast dick licking. East Coast nigga till I die. It's clear who the heir apparent king of NY. So in y'all's opinion, was this a diss? Or was he just saying, hey, you East Coast niggas is dick riding the West Coast too tough? We New York, let's get back to New York. Y'all banging the West Coast gangs. Y'all talking like the West. We used to have our own gangs. We used to hustle. Because if you know anything about hip hop, True Life actually went on a whole campaign before he went to jail back in the day about this very same thing in the early 2000s when gang banging got really big on the East Coast, when the blood thing just exploded. And True Life was saying the same thing back then. And if you don't know, the too much West Coast dick licking is a reference to Jay-Z's lyrics from the 22-2 song. He said the very same thing. So do you guys take this as a diss, or is he actually dissing the East Coast?
I don't know. Cuz sounding very much like a hater at this moment in time. Only because you can use the Jay reference, because Jay wasn't sounding like a hater when he said it, as far as the lines that he was using. But right now, the West Coast is making noise and creating that energy right now that is in music. And I feel like he's feeling some type of way, because who's really West Coast dick licking? We've been getting hated on since the beginning of time. Kendrick pointed this out. Everybody's been pointing it out. We've all been acknowledging it. Now the West Coast is making noise. A nigga come out with some lines like this. You could have just checked the East Coast on some other shit and just spoke how you felt about your side of town. West Coast for life, nigga. You could be East Coast for life.
I agree.
But so it's like, nigga, what was the purpose of that?
I agree. It's that. And I think it's a little bit of knowing if you attach yourself to the West Coast right now, you're going to go viral. Because he's been, at least for me, MIA for a minute. So
right, now you got
Yeah,
niggas that like us talking about
last
it.
time I was really rocking with bro was, I don't know if you ever heard the song 500 Bins, but great song by Joey Badass. It's just shock value. I don't think he really dissing Kendrick Lamar or the West Coast, the type of person he has been, at least what we know, a rapper he's been. I don't really see it that way. I think he's just trying to get some buzz going and get himself back in the limelight a little bit. That's how I look at it.
Basically, it's just hip hop is cyclic, right? It goes around. When 50 was hot, niggas, I was beating up niggas wearing them 50 G-Unit wife beaters and trying to come with the do-rag looking like 50 and shit. I mean, whoever's hot at the moment, everybody, everywhere is going to be on that person, right? The South for a long time, when you have people coming out of there who was like when Drake and Wayne and all them was popping, niggas from the West Coast walking down the street rapping Wayne lyrics, niggas in New York. So it's just whoever's hot. And right now, the West Coast is what's hot right now, and then somebody's gonna come from New York or the South or whatever, or Chicago or something, and they're gonna be hot for a while. Then everybody's gonna be on that. So I think he's just trying to get his little notoriety or his little recognition by name dropping or saying some things that could be taken as offensive to the West Coast. But at this point, the coast-to-coast beef stuff, that's never going to get resurrected because you got people in the West Coast whose favorite rapper is East Coast rapper. You got niggas on the East Coast, favorite rapper. I remember when I was in New York, niggas, I love Snoop Dogg, man, I love Kobe and shit. I'm like, what? I'm thinking everybody going to be like, we hate the Lakers and we hate Dr. Dre.
Kobe from Philly, though.
But I mean,
he known for LA.
But they wear Laker jerseys, niggas.
no,
That like,
sure.
for real, I'm at the courts, they got Lakers shit on. I'm like, so it doesn't matter. Joey Badass, you're too smart for that. You know, he's a pretty, like, conscious rapper. He's pretty intelligent. I think it's beneath him to do that. But if it's entertaining, I mean, that's
Joey,
the industry they're in.
I think it speaks to how the West is able to ignite that competitive spirit though in rap always. I think we've always been able to ignite that spirit amongst all coasts of rap. I think so.
No, what it
speaks
shows
to
is
it.
these
We
niggas
messed
hating,
as
like
hell.
Messiah said, nigga, because why not just release a song without mentioning the West Coast at all? Kendrick's about to perform in the Super Bowl. He's beefing with Drake, who was the biggest artist of the game at the time. So anything you say about the West Coast is going to get micro-analyzed, and he knows this. And his name just came in the media when he had a fight in some store in New York,
yeah, he
right?
did.
So he was trending on Twitter for a little bit. So I believe he took this moment to keep his name trending. Like, it could be taken as a diss, but then it couldn't be taken as a diss because it's a reference to an old song
And you
by
use Jay-Z beat, but that's like a cop-out.
And you use Jay-Z beat. So it's passive-aggressive. It's a cop-out. Because if niggas get on your helmet, you going to say, man, I wasn't pressing the West Coast. I was really pressing the East Coast, telling them niggas let's get original again. So he knew what the fuck he was doing.
Because in what context do you mean when you say that? Because who else is really, according to the East Coast, a lot of them don't listen to our music.
Yeah, they've been
So
hating on it. We just
who are
had a
you
conversation on
referencing
that.
when you West Coast dick licking or doing whatever?
Because they hate Kendrick. A lot of them niggas hate Kendrick right now.
In New
Just
York,
what I'm saying though, man. We were just out there. Them niggas wasn't really playing too much. No West Coast, nothing less. We was
Facts.
playing it.
I was just literally
Yeah.
out there. So the only West Coast music they really play is if they bang a West Coast hood and then that hood has a known rapper. That hood individually will play their rapper because a lot of their hood info comes via rappers and shit, especially the rappers who go out there to collab. So other than that, you're not really hearing the West Coast in New York. So what are you talking about? Put a name on it, nigga. Because this is 2025, bro. All that clickbait, clout chase shit, that shit is a rap, nigga. YouTube just said no clickbait. Stop clickbaiting. That's not going to get you hot. If you hot, make hot music, and that's going to get you hot. If you can't get hot with hot music, you're just not hot, nigga. Go act, go get back in power, go do something else to stay relevant, nigga. The bitches like you, go model. But playing with the West, that's not something you want to do right now. Leave that shit alone before somebody take offense and your shit get ended, nigga. Period, point blank.
But yeah, that's the whole thing, bro. You're a rapper. If you want your stuff to be hot in your city, you can go right in the booth and make something. But at the end of the day, man, Joey Badass, he's a decent rapper. I mean, he ain't going gold or nothing like that. I mean, he's getting pretty old, but it's stupid to even talk about who's listening to what, because people have different tastes, and New York is going to be New York forever. But the music industry is better when there's a strong offering from New York. Like, I like New York rappers' music, but they got to get deep again. They talking about bullshit
Get
now.
back on your New York shit, nigga. Stop chasing everybody else's sound. Get
Drill
original,
rap
bro.
and shit.
Yeah, that shit over with. Hey, we from Cali, so let's end it on this. California according to Consumer Affairs, ranked as the worst state to move to and to raise a family in 2025, citing poor education, safety, affordability, and quality of life. California has high child poverty rates, a shortage of libraries, and poor air quality. So basically, moving to Cali, the religious liberty is pretty much gone. It's a damn near a satanic state. If you look at the laws, they trying to legalize pedophilia and all type of shit. We got the highest tax rate in the nation. Retiring here is the worst state in the country to retire in. And this is all thanks to that piece of shit, Gavin Newsom, a.k.a. Gruesome Newsom, and these fucking liberals. They turned California, which was once the golden child of the world, the greatest state in the world, in the country, into a shithole, into a hellhole. You go down Hollywood, everything's boarded up. You go to Beverly Hills, blocks on blocks on blocks of buildings closed. Nothing's going on. You go down 2nd Street in Long Beach, it's a zombie land, nobody outside. Go down Pine, all the clubs and shit is closed. Like, LA has turned into
not no zombie
you
land.
crazy. They gotta drive down 2nd Street Saturday, nobody outside. Basically, what I'm saying is LA's not the place to be anymore due to the politics. Me personally, I would like to see LA flip red and go more the right route because they seem to got it right as far as the quality of life. So what do y'all think about that news there, and what can we do as Californians to fix this shit? Because Cali is the greatest. I don't give a fuck. We can't let them politicians do this shit, bro.
Cali is great as long as you got money, and I think life is anywhere you make. It's what you make it. If you got bread, if you can live, at least I don't want to just say free, but financially free in certain ways, you'll be great in Cali. You won't even think about half the problems that people talk about, and for them to talk about libraries. Ain't like niggas is going to go get books. So you got plenty Barnes and Nobles to go buy books for cheap as hell. You got plenty bookstores, and there's libraries everywhere. It's in every city, it's a library. Niggas is not going to get library cards. These kids ain't doing it either. So that's some other cop out. You know what I'm saying? But Cali is good for the most part. I don't really see too much. What they can do, what I don't like, is how they control the damn beaches. Even though every beach ain't great, but when you go to all these other places, how they have the beaches set up with the beds out and all the stuff, you got people all over the beaches. You can't really do nothing in our beaches out here. That shit is weak. They need to change that.
I think Cali's the freest control state we got, right? Like, we one of the fakest states. We say we super diverse. You get here, prisons is racist as hell, police force is racist as hell. They say it's glitz and glamour. You come here, it's niggas shitting on the street, high off fentanyl. They say it's, you know what I mean, a place to become famous. Most people become dropout drug addicts that never, you know what I mean, working at Starbucks. Like, we're
working
one
on
of the,
Fig.
Yeah, we're one of the fakest states there is. They say, you know, you have the freedom of doing whatever you want or an expression, but if you decide to not, you know, have your kid partake in certain things, or you don't want them to be taught certain things about sexuality in school, you're looked at as a villain. So I think Cali just is super fake and just super controlled, even though we give off the illusion that we're not. And that's where we're coming to the boiling point that we are. Obviously with Gavin Newsom as well, and I think the homelessness crisis and that situation really in general and our tax dollars and where they've went to has really affected California, and I think it's going to affect us for the long run. What we can do about it, me personally, I don't know. At this point in time, like, it's so bad that we're going to need to get him out of there, and then at that point, it's going to take a whole rebuild for us to get back to where we want to be.
California is bad not because of Gavin Newsom. California is bad because you have rich people who can gain street cred in poor areas by pretending to care about things they don't care about, right? So, like, you got this super rich person. They're like, man, I'm an environmentalist. I'm in front of the grocery store trying to get you to sign up to donate to Greenpeace. Look at me, I'm driving a Tesla, all this type of shit. And it's like, yeah, you can afford to be an environmentalist freak. But we don't know that your dad got tons of stock in this oil company and he's running this little toxic waste dumping business that we don't know about. People can fake it. It's the land of faking it till you make it, right? So you got rich people who faking it like they poor. You got people coming out of Silver Lake and Calabasas like, look, I want to overpay for an apartment in Long Beach because it's close to this bar, this dive bar I really like to go to. You're like, how are you affording to live right here, drink every night with me, and get up in the morning and spend $40 every morning at the local coffee shop? They're not telling you I'm a trust fund kid and my parents live up in fucking Hidden Hills or something like that, or Anaheim Hills or Chino Hills. They're not telling you that. So you got a lot of people pretending to be poor who have money, right? And they're driving the mindset. They're influencing how the actual poor people want to behave. The way you fix this situation, first, you have to get rid of all these taxes. California has all types of taxes that other states don't have, one of which is our gas tax. We got like almost $1 worth of taxes attached to our gas, so we're always at least $1 higher than the national average. Now they just passed something in the middle of the night where they're going to put a 65-cent additional tax on the gas, to where now the oil companies are moving out. They already make you know about this. They already make a special blend of gas for cars in California. The gas that you buy in the state of California is different from the gas you buy in every other state in America because of our ridiculous environmental laws, right? Yep. You got to incentivize businesses to come. Give them tax breaks. We look at businesses like, basically our politicians shake down corporations. If you want to be here, you want to stay here and get these California dollars, you're going to give us this much money, X amount of dollars. Plus, it's a socialist state where the poor can't do certain things, but the rich can. Look at Gavin Newsom and his restaurant, the French Laundry. He was shutting down all the other restaurants, but his restaurant was open for business during that pandemic. And people were allowed to eat inside, no mask. They were allowed to eat outside. They had people waiting in line to get in, crowds of people, and everybody else was shut down. We are living under a type of dictatorship, and it's totally corrupt. And it shows you what happens when you have one party running the entire country. It always devolves into exploitation.
So what's your okay?
Incentivize business and lower taxes.
I disagree with it not being Gavin Newsom. I mean, he's the damn governor, right? So he's running the show. And as far as like bro said, as long as you're rich, you cool. That's not necessarily true either, because most millionaires are actually fleeing. Even Elon Musk left because of the taxes. It's fucking ridiculous. Yeah. You make a 1.5 million, you only get 700,000 out of the 1.5, or I think it's 3 million or something like that. So the tax rate is like 55%. They take more money than you make on your own damn check for the work you did. It's ridiculous. And if you look at Newsom's history, his top 10 failures, let's go down the list. Highest cost of living in the nation. Reports estimate that if you live in California, the state imposes a $26,478 additional cost on middle-class families compared to the national average. So if you live here in the middle class, you need an extra whopping $26,000 over the national average. Not only that, that gas tax that he said is $1 is estimated to go up to $2 per gallon by 2026. Soaring crime. We got some of the worst crime rates in the history. It went up in 2022 by a staggering 13%. Remember earlier in the show, I said when the PPP hit around 2020, crime went down. When it went away around 2022, it went up 13%, right in line.
So you proving my point. Proving my point. If you got money, then it's lovely to live out here.
No, it's cool because for people who never had money, but if you have a business that's to make money, the taxes is not worth starting a business here, which is why businesses are closing.
You think them people that's living in Palisades and all that shit, them motherfuckers don't be kidding. Them niggas living good.
Hold on, we can get into that too. We have the worst homelessness crisis in the nation. Despite spending over $24 billion on homeless prevention, where the fuck is that money going? Homelessness just keeps going up. I think it went up by 31.6%. But watch it magically disappear when the Olympics get here. Mark my words, 2028, it won't be a homeless on the street. Magically, the money gonna kick in. We have the weakest election integrity in the nation. We actually help human traffickers while creating a border crisis, failing schools, and attack on parents. So they're trying to take all the rights away from the parents and give it to the schools and the doctors over your children. Negligence created an insurance crisis, a pattern of pay-to-play politics. So if you ain't putting money in the politicians' hands, they not doing nothing for you. You could talk vote local and all that. Guess what? The millionaires and billionaires who want the advantage on them locally, white envelope, fuck what they voting, so you could bleed out all you want. Hold on, one more, two more. a failed Green New Deal policy. So all this made up green, we need to save, blase, blah, we need to go electric. Man, that's bullshit. If every car in California went electric right now, we don't have the capacity of the power grid to even power them up or charge them. Not to mention, almost everything you use in this fucking world, half the products on this set still need the petroleum. They still need the oil. And even the fucking lithium batteries is worse for the damn environment. The materials they need for the batteries in your Tesla is worse than the damn oil refineries and the oil business. So that's bullshit. And the gas. Destroying direct democracy by gutting citizen initiative rights. So Gavin Newsom destroyed this country. However you want to look
This
at
state?
it. I mean, excuse me, this state. I'm worked up right now because California like a country. To
He
me,
hasn't
I'm a Cali
destroyed the
boy.
country yet. They're definitely running his ass.
He's trying to run for
trying,
president, so he's trying to destroy the country. We ain't there yet. But Californians, y'all need to wake up. This vote blue, no matter what ideology, has to go.
But
we don't have stand your ground laws. Like it's damn near impossible unless you live in Orange County to get a damn right to carry. We have the worst laws. We protect pedophiles. You can be a pedophile legally in California.
Won't even charge you.
They won't even, you get a slap on the wrist, bro. You can come in across the border, no paperwork. Like, it's just a free-for-all for everybody except the tax-paying citizens who built this fucking state.
But how do you say it's the politicians when you got people who will vote blue no matter who? Gavin Newsom is going to run for president in 2028. We know that. There's going to be a significant part of the American population that's going to be like, I'm voting for him just because he's the Democrat nominee. It's the same thing in California. These people, it's almost like they don't care how much pain they're in because they're so scared of what might happen if the other side wins. And I remember I was watching Roland Martin, and he said this out his own mouth. He said, you know, when it comes to black people and Democrat voters, you can't talk to them or appeal to them based on the facts and the issues. You have to scare them. You have to make them afraid of what the other guy might do if he's elected. Gavin Newsom shut down all of our nuclear power plants in California, talking about this green energy crap. And what happened? It skyrocketed the cost of energy. I haven't got an electric bill that was under $100 since like 10 or 12 years ago.
Bro.
The electric bill used to be $40,
$35.
Now the shit's $125 every month. No matter how much you could turn off light switches, you could be watching the kids, making sure that you turn off their TVs at night. Your bill's gonna be minimum $120 every month. So did he really get rid of the nuclear power plants to save the environment, or did he get rid of the power plants so that they could raise the cost of energy and him and his buddies could get kickbacks because they're the ones who are owning up all the solar panel farms and wind farms and all that shit. But that guy is responsible, but it's the people who elected him.
This is why this show is the single most important show in the culture right now, because we're from the culture for the culture. You may not always agree with every sentiment and every point we make, but we're probably the only platform like this who addresses these issues. We don't even discuss this in our community.
You know, Fig Community ain't talking about it.
Look, shout out to Fig.
Shout out to them. They ain't talking about
shout out
nothing
to
important.
AD. Listen, growing up, how many times did your parents ever talk to you about politics? Never. We never learned about politics from our parents in our communities. So we have the blind leading the blind, where now we're the adults and we have no schooling on politics whatsoever unless you go research yourself and deep dive yourself. So you got people voting on shit. They don't even know what they're voting on. Like, we just had people vote. They had a bill for rent control. Do you know these dumb, ignorant idiots who are renting voted against it because they have hopes of one day being an owner, which they never will, because the corporations are buying all the houses. We're in the worst housing crisis in human history. BlackRock and a couple other companies own everything, right? They bought like 70% of the housing already. So you're never going to own a house unless you rent it from them. They voted against it thinking that when I finally own a home one day, even though inflation is quadrupling what they're getting paid, so the value of their dollar is going down, they're making less money, right? It's not even worth it, and it's never going to happen. They voted against it just so they can screw over their neighbor one day because they don't want the government controlling what they can do when they're already controlling. Dumbass, there's no rent control. So all the money you think you're saving to one day own a home, it's never going to happen because now it takes more to maintain the lifestyle you already had than what you make. You didn't get a raise, but the cost of living went up 3 times within The last, fucking 3 years?
What about Prop 36?
Make it make sense.
What about
Talk to 'em.
Prop 36 to get rid of all the crime? Niggas running up in the store, stealing everything, having tougher penalties. Gavin Newsom came out against Prop 36, then tried to sign in a bunch of bullshit fake laws talking about this would be better than Prop 36. That tells you these guys want this state to be in chaos.
Exactly.
Why would you not want to hold people accountable for stealing, running up, doing smash and grabs and stuff? The governor himself came out against that. And then Kamala Harris said she wasn't going to tell you before the election what she voted on it because she didn't want to create a story or a narrative around it. No, she voted against it, which tells you what? She likes crime. These people understand one thing. The only country or state they are qualified to rule over is one that is in utter chaos because they're inept.
A lot of times too, I think that they might do things like you just said. People don't really follow up on shit. So when I was in the pen, Gavin Newsom was doing a lot of good shit for the prisoners. And if I'm not necessarily staying up on him, I might have a first impression as that, well, he looked out for us when we was in prison 5-10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And like, oh, he was straight for us. He did this or he did that. So by him passing certain bills or going against certain things where crime, you might not be punishable for so long, people might stick with that and the next time they hear from Gavin Newsom is, he's running, this was the dude that helped us get off when we were shoplifting or something like that, and you stick with that mindset versus what he's actually doing now. So I think they're thinking way smarter and way further ahead of putting stamps on people.
And think about that.
Yeah.
Gavin Newsom helped me be a better criminal, so I'm going to vote for him.
Imprinting.
Like, that's literally...
I
know when you're in the
necessarily
cell,
help
it don't matter.
be a better criminal, but not stretching me the fuck out as if I could have made an early mistake when I was younger versus right now that y'all want me to do way more fucking time for some petty crimes that we complain about, niggas get all the time.
Because look.
And then when somebody else does that for us, we still complain about it.
I've been out of prison for 18 years. That's very true. Never caught a case, never caught another case, new beef, nothing, had minor run-ins that was not even due to me. You feel me? But I never caught another case. I've been legal, I've been prospering, career, 401k, pension, all the shit, family, everything. Got a TWIC card, government clearance. I filed my paperwork to get my felony pardon and delete it from my record. Well, my girl did. Shout out to Miss Rose, you feel me? She was on top of her shit. That's baby right there. But, you feel me? I have not heard a response in 2 years. This should be an open and shut case. I have a TWIC card, which means you have to get government clearance so they can make sure you're not a terrorist so you can access the ports. If I got cleared for that, why can't I have my rights to protect myself and my family back? Because now I can never legally own a firearm until I get my damn rights back. So,
they sent a letter saying that it was approved through the board and they were sending it to the governor for approval. So we're waiting for him.
mind you, it got approved. They sent it to Gruesome Newsom. No answer. 2 years. No phone number to call. No email to hit. Hey, man, what's going on with this paperwork? You just got to hope and pray. And this is a part of the system that unless you're a criminal or ever been in jail or prison, you don't see this part. You just think dudes is just going back because they like prison. Some niggas do, but some niggas actually are trying to make a change, and your government won't allow them to change. Thank God I just landed where I landed with the felony, and I still was able to prosper over. But what are the odds of that? Because the company that hired me don't even hire felons anymore. The jobs that used to be shoo-ins for felons, oil refinery. First thing they tell you got the pen. Go get your RSO card. Go to the oil refinery. They not hiring felons no more. The trains, the railroad tracks, that used to be a shoe-in. They not even really hiring felons no more. So the outlets that felons did have to try and change their life around, the politicians are taking that. Why? Because they have all these private prisons on the stock market. That's a business, and if we don't keep them full, the people who own that prison sue the state for not filling their prison with inmates. It's one big game, bro. Y'all got to think of this shit deeper than the surface level, what the news tell you. They want niggas doing crime. Why the fuck would you have the free crime bill where you can basically just go do with anything? Oh shit, niggas is stealing out of control. Now we gotta be tougher than we were before.
Hey.
But you dumb niggas didn't notice the chess move. We talked about it.
Hey, and now You do a crime. Somebody does a crime to you call the cops, they don't show up for 8 hours. Yeah. They don't show up for 10 hours. What do you think that message is sending to somebody who might be struggling to get work? They fresh out the pen. Shit's hard right now. Nigga come, hey, bro, I hit a lick, nigga. Cops never even came, bro. Like, that's kind of like, it's almost like they baiting people to do shit. Like, we want them to, like, do something. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to, all of a sudden, like we said just earlier, we're going to pull the rope tight again, and them motherfuckers are gonna be right back, in prison years and decades. This guy is I call him a cancer. It's like he knows he's fucking this state over. He was able to clean the state up when Xi Jinping, his communist master, came. He got San Francisco all cleaned up and stuff. God. They could fix it if they want to. Fact. They're letting it be like this on purpose. And I don't know if they're just trying to drive all the poor people out the state or something, or they're just like I imagine that California wants to be like this. Super rich people, the poor Hispanics who work for them, living in apartments, 20, 30 motherfuckers to a 2-bedroom, kind of like it is if you go to like Dubai and shit, the worker camps are packed out, and then it's all these rich people and people living in the desert. It's like they just want to have a greater disparity between the haves and the have-nots, and they want to eliminate the middle class from California.
Let's be real, though. All these people that we speak of, they're not making all the final decisions. Like, they're in there with other people and things has already been implemented and in motion. Like you just said, it's not no coincidence that none of this has been going on and you still can't get cleared for something. Like, this is made this way. It's designed this way. We know this shit. So it's like we could do all this if there's nothing you really can do about it. But keep either putting your motions in and hoping that and pray to God that shit change and go through. Other than that, there ain't shit that people doing about it. We can vote, do all this shit. Whoever's back there in the government's positions are going to be used the way they need to be utilized. These people are just the faces in the forefront of what's already going to go on and what they already know what's going to go on from 5 to 10 years now down the line.
Americans, get a copy of this and read this. You have a duty to America as an American. If your government gets too tyrannical, you have the right to overturn them. They supposed to work for us. The way it's set up now, we're working for them.
Slaves.
So when do y'all want to wake up? You are cattle on a free-range plantation. You think you're free, you're not. You don't even control your own time, your own movements, your vacation hours, your sick. You don't control shit. You don't control what you eat. You don't control the price of nothing. We have no control because we allow it. There's strength in numbers. The most powerful tool they got is propaganda. This is why they use all these fucking scare tactics, all these mass shootings allegedly, all these bomb threats, and constantly around, year-round, hourly around, to keep you in a fearful state to never do what this book told you to do. Hey, if they out of line and they tyrannical, get them the fuck out and get somebody in who's for the people. So it's on y'all when y'all want to wake up. The viral way.
That's it. That's right. You both said bang, and then we know it's done.
Ain't no handouts, I did it from the ground up. In the streets, thugging hardest where they found us. Got a problem, nigga, watch my troopers mount up. My bitches bang too, and you a lame though. You niggas ain't outside, yeah, we came through. You want your lights up, we put you on the shade.